The Tamron 70-200 f2.8 DI VC USD lens is widely considered one of the best third-party mid-range zooms available to photographers. So, how good is this lens? Well, pull up a chair and let's talk about that. Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Photo. I'm Bill Ferris, and in April 2014, I shared sample photos I had taken with my Nikon D600 and the Tamron 70-200 f2.8 DI VC USD mid-range zoom lens. Now, in that video, I concluded that this Tamron lens delivers outstanding image quality and excellent value. It was priced about $1,000 less than the Nikon and Canon equivalent lenses at that time. Nearly 8 months have passed since I released that video, and I've taken more photographs with the Tamron lens, so I'd like to share some of those with you today and let you know what I'm thinking about the lens after more than a year's use. So let's get into Lightroom and have a look. Here we are in Lightroom, and I've sorted my photographic archive based on the metadata point of those images taken with the Tamron 70-200 f2.8. As you can see, the total is about 5,400 images. I've created a personal collection in Lightroom where I've selected 10 photographs that I'll share with you in this video to give you an idea how the lens has been performing since April of last year. So let's get into that collection. And I'm going to give myself a little more room to work with so we can see the images better and in more detail. And here's the first photograph. This was taken in May of 2014 during the Flagstaff Youth Chorale Spring Concert. It's a portrait of one of the singers. Let's go ahead and zoom in, and we can see that focus is nice and sharp on the eye. You can see good detail in the photograph, including liner along the eyelid, other details, and we're getting a nice buttery background. This was taken at f2.8 and demonstrates the kind of quality that I'm consistently getting with this lens. Let's move on to the next image. This was taken in the summer of 2014 during a trip to the south rim of Grand Canyon. It is a profile portrait of a bull elk grazing in the forest. Again, we'll zoom in. You can see nice focus on the eye, a smooth, crisp, glassy look, detail in the lashes around the eye, and again, because I used a fairly large aperture, nice out-of-focus background with this image. Here's a photograph that I took during a family vacation up to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. We have a pond lily, and if we zoom in on the flower, again, you can see good sharp focus on the seeds in the flower. Here's a fly on one of the petals, and as we pull over to one side to look at a leaf floating on top of the water, again, good crisp focus, nice detail on some of the debris floating on that leaf. Let's take a look at the next image. This was taken during an autumn trip to the north rim of Grand Canyon to capture fall color. We have aspens and ponderosa pines. We'll zoom in. You can see good detail, the bark of the aspen. Here we have the leaves, nice yellow color, good crisp edges, nice contrast between the aspen and the pine in the background. One of the things I like about this image is that it's showing very little, if any at all, chromatic aberration. The lens handles that quite well. As we look at our next photograph, the next couple of photographs were taken in October of 2014 at an NAU football game. At 200 millimeters, f2.8, Northern Arizona University running back with the ball. We'll zoom in. You can see good focus on the eye, detail along the helmet, on the jersey, the conference patch, also on the football. The lens does a nice job at 1/1000th of a second, freezing the action. Nice out of focus background, creating a little separation. Here's an NAU receiver ready for the snap of the ball. Look at that bokeh, nice out of focus background. Again, as we zoom in, check the focus point, nice detail in the face. You can see his expression. Again, good detail on the jersey, also on the helmet in this photograph. Moving on now to an image I took last fall of just some chairs aligned in an alleyway downtown. And we'll go ahead and zoom in and check focus. Look at the detail, the scratches and dings on the metal frame of the chair. Again, at a wide aperture, f2.8, very shallow depth of field, crisp focus in the plane, nice out of focus in the background as well as in the foreground. During a trip to Disney World with the family in December 2014, did a little bit of bird photography. This is a white ibis, and if we zoom in, just look at how sharp the detail is around that eye and a little bit along the beak. And again, very shallow depth of field. Crisp right here in the plane, very soft even at the back of this bird's head, and the background is just soft and buttery. While we were going through World Showcase in England, we saw Father Christmas. He was explaining how some of the Christmas traditions began in England. So I took some photographs of this presentation. And again, we'll zoom in. This gentleman, focus on the eye. You can see some good detail in the face. And here's the microphone he wore, very discreet. You couldn't see it while you were watching the presentation live, but in the photograph, as we zoom in, you can see that kind of detail. Look at the detail in the staff that he is holding. And one more image, another ibis from Disney World. Again, we zoom into that eye and see incredibly sharp focus on the eye, detail in the face and in the feathers. Look at the fine detail you can pull out of those feathers in this photograph. Well, there you have it. 10 new sample photos taken since last April with the Tamron 70-200 f2.8 DI VC USD mid-range zoom lens. If you're looking for a mid-range zoom for your camera and you're on a budget, I would strongly encourage you to give this lens serious consideration. As you can see, outstanding image quality. The autofocus is very fast and accurate, and the vibration compensation is simply outstanding. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Bill Ferris, and I will see you next time on 5 Minute Photo.